What's going on YouTube? Welcome to episode 187 of the U.S.S. Enterprise D tutorial. I'm Zero Elite and I just want to thank you very much for tuning in today's episode. And if you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. Also, new subscribers, don't forget to join the Discord. I'll have a link in the description below. Right now, I'm doing a poll, or excuse me, not a poll, but I'm doing a contest. You can submit your clips of the U.S.S. Enterprise D. I'm trying to get clips together so I can put a tour together for everybody. There's going to be two ways that you guys will be able to enter this, either by posting your picture or posting your videos on the Enterprise D video showcase tab, or you can also email me at zeroelite@yahoo.com. And it's just exactly how it's spelled on my YouTube channel, ZEROE, the number 1ITE at yahoo.com. And you can post your clips in there as well. I'm going to give everybody until December the 31st. That's going to be a Saturday. After that, the contest will close, and if you haven't had a chance to post your videos after that point, you've missed the ship. Anyway, we've got about a 20-minute episode. We're going to be finishing up the mess hall. We've only got one episode left after this, so let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So we're on the entertainment deck. We're going to be going all the way down. So you might remember this area that when we were working on the farm, which was, well, the farm slash small park, which is on the right side of this wall. And we had made out this area here for the mess hall, but we didn't get a chance to flesh it out. We are going to go ahead and take care of that in today's episode. And I'm really looking forward to getting into this. The mess hall didn't come out too bad. There was a couple of things differently that I would have liked to have done with it. And if I hadn't lost my save file, we would have been able to go over all that. But I mean, now that I've had a chance to kind of, digest the whole tutorial series, all things considered, I'm pretty happy with what I was able to come up with. I hope that you guys have really enjoyed this tutorial series. I've had a blast doing it. But yeah, there's only going to be one more episode left after this, and then we're going to be calling the Enterprise D done. The only other video that we'll be doing is after December the 31st, I'm going to pull the clips together that I've gotten from everybody and try to edit that together in, hopefully, if I can make a full tour out of that. And then the Enterprise D, that'll be the last time that we'll be doing anything for it. After that, we'll be shifting gears over to the Voyager. I'm really looking forward to getting into Voyager, but I do want to keep expectations clear. After Enterprise D, I am going to be taking a short break from doing YouTube videos, possibly for the rest of the year. I might pick videos back up sooner than that. Basically, my plan is to start building Voyager, and whenever I'm ready to get back into, or whenever I have enough of it done, I'll be putting the tutorial series out. But with the holidays coming up, I'm going to have a lot of stuff going on, just, between personal life and work. So, and not only that, I've put a lot of work into the Enterprise D. This has been a year and a half of my life that I've put to making this thing happen. And don't get me wrong, I am not complaining. This was a pleasure to build. I had so much fun working on the Enterprise D, but I need a little bit of a break, So yeah, that's kind of what the plan is right now. I'm planning to take off throughout the rest of the year and then pick up in the beginning of the year with the new season, which will be going right into Voyager. But if anything does change, I'll be posting it on Discord, and I think that for the month of December, I'll probably be doing at least 1 or 2 watch parties on Discord too, just to keep engagement with the community and everything, reminding everybody about the showcase tour that I'm going to be doing. Hopefully you guys will submit your clips that you were able to generate from doing this tutorial yourself. So if you have gotten into this thing, post your videos. I want to see them, My goal with that is I'm trying to get clips together of stuff that as closely as possible matches the tutorial that I made. But if there are some liberties here and there, I think I'll let that slide. This is just the best case scenario that I can come up with to try to remedy being able to come up with a tour, other than trying to scour through my own clips that I've done. and try to edit little tiny bits and pieces together. This might be a little bit easier. So that's at least the thought process behind it, because really one of the main reasons I also want to get it out too is because I want new people that discover this channel where they can go and they can see this tour as a way to see what they're going to be getting themselves into. You know what I mean? And those tour videos actually really do help my channel. Out of all the videos that I put up, my tour videos end up being some of the highest. Those are the videos that end up pulling people in for the tutorials. So if you guys have enjoyed the channel, if you've enjoyed the content, if you've enjoyed the interactions with me, you know, talking to everybody on Discord and YouTube, if you can help me out with that one thing, post your clips so that I can try to get a tour together, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm not going to be doing like any like cash prizes or anything for it or anything like that. Really my plan right now is just to give like huge shout outs on YouTube to anybody that does contribute in that tour video series or into that tour. I'll make sure that you guys get taken care of with that and get your well due recognition for that. So definitely, if you can help me out, I'd really appreciate that. You know, it's kind of hard to believe, you know, because a year and a half, I can't believe that we're on the second to last episode of the Enterprise D. I really, part of me thought that this thing could have went on for a lot longer. And to be honest with you, if I hadn't lost my save file, we probably would have been looking at maybe at least... I probably could have gone on another year, to be perfectly honest with you, because there was a lot that I wanted to do. There was a lot that I wanted to do with the medical deck. I wanted to add in... I had the template for our crew quarters, but I never had a chance to flesh out the crew deck. And then also the lip of the saucer, and then the only other blank area that I really hadn't had a chance to touch was the rear end of the lower hull of the ship. But with that being said, I think that this is, you know, maybe it's for the best that that happened, because the build the way it is, there's a lot of really cool things that you guys are going to be able to build watching this tutorial, but also there's going to be room to expand upon it and be able to add in your own things that you think that should be in the ship too. There haven't been too many builds that I've done in the past where I've been in that position, you know, so it is actually kind of cool to have that option there, so this way people can go in and they can finish their Enterprise D and add the things that they would like to be in there. I think that is kind of cool. But, you know, nonetheless, it is kind of bittersweet. You know, it still hurts just a little bit to see every time I do see the Enterprise D, just because of the fact that I lost the save file. But I was committed to putting I was committed to putting out the videos that I had left, and I'm also very thankful that I record these in advance. Because I've had a couple of people ask me, they're like, "Hey, if you lost a save file, like, how are you putting videos up?" And this is there was two reasons why I build my ships in the process in which that I do it. Well, actually, three reasons. But mainly, the number one reason is that I want to make sure that the screenshot that I'm taking of the ship matches what you guys are going to see when you click on my video. I need to make sure that I have enough breathing room while I'm building, so that when I start my tutorial that I don't catch up with myself. And I'm adding in that extra step now that, God forbid, if something does happen, I at least have content that's been recorded. So really the secret to my YouTube channel, and any of you that are just starting out your own YouTube channel, here's a pro tip. Pre-record your content. I can't stress this enough, because things happen in life. Sometimes you're not able to get on for a while and record new content. This is why when I'm building my ships out, I record every single thing that I do, and I just keep going, and I might build for at least maybe 2 weeks to a month before I even start recording. So this way, if something happens, whether it's I'm not able to get on, or maybe that I'm you know, just spinning my tires and the build's not coming out the way that I wanted to, for whatever reason, you know, I've got that cushion there of content. And that's what's enabled me to put out my videos so consistently in which the way that I have. So if you're a new YouTuber and you're trying to get past that hurdle of content, my suggestion to you is to record a bunch of stuff, and then once you have your backlog of content, then start putting out your videos. So this way you have that backlog that you can hit. So when you think about it, all those videos are already done. Now your goal is to focus on new content. So you have that nice huge cushion of backlog content that you can put out while you're working on creating your new content. That's honestly been invaluable to me in this tutorial, ever since I started doing YouTube, well, the tutorial series anyway. I don't foresee that changing ever. It's made doing my YouTube videos very, very easy. If I had to get on here and build these from scratch every week, that could turn into a huge challenge. You know, maybe not for some people, but when you're an adult and you're adulting and you're not able to dedicate maybe more than 1 or 2 evenings a week into gaming, it can become very, very challenging to put that content out. But that's why pre-recording, you know, I can't stress that enough. So hopefully that helps out any of you new people that are coming into YouTube that are looking to start your own YouTube channel. I will never stray away from answering a question, trying to help people out, whether that's building on Minecraft or giving any suggestions I can with YouTube. Now, the one thing that you probably won't get out of me, like if I have a random person, you know, don't be a random person and hit me up asking me if you can basically remake my tutorial series and, you know, tag me in to give me credit. I'm going to say no to that, because that's basically a breach of my content. But as far as like any questions go, things to do, whether it's related to building or just how to grow your channel, if I can help somebody out, I will, because again, I know exactly what it feels like. I'm still, in a sense, dealing with that myself, because I'm trying to grow my channel out. My immediate goal right now is to hit 1,000 subscribers, and it's been a learning process. And to be honest with you, I really don't have anybody that I'm too familiar. There's a couple of people I've maybe briefly talked to on YouTube, but nobody that I would say that would be a peer or somebody that I've been able to reach out to ask for advice. So those of you that do need help, you know, don't hesitate to ask, because again, I know exactly how you feel, and I'm not saying that I know all the answers. I really don't. But I think that I've slowly started to get into a groove that some of the things that I'm doing have been working. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of things that I feel like I can improve on, because again, I'm going to be my own worst critic in that regard. I'm always going to think that, look at ways that I can improve. That's just how I am. I try to be a perfectionist in that regard. And in all honesty, it's not a bad habit to have, because you push yourself for the very best, and you push yourself to continuously grow. I don't like to stay in one place for too long. I always want to keep getting better as much as I possibly can. Anyway, you can see that I've been rambling on this whole time. We've got our dining room pretty much set up now. Now, as you can see, I just took off a piece of our floor. So our same rule applies here, that we can't be deleting any of this floor here. So we got to be really careful. What we got here is what we got. So we're either going to have to add some layers to it or add in some carpeting to cover it up. But we're not going to be able to delete any of the flooring here. So pretty much what we're going to make, because to be honest with you, if you really wanted to, you don't even need to make a full kitchen. You could just put a rig up there and set something up as a replicator and call it a day. We're going to do both. We'll have the option for the replicator, but we'll also have the full kitchen, because I just would like to think that I kind of look at it like Bones McCoy's mentality, that he's somebody that, even though he's grown up with having transporter technology, he didn't trust it. And I would find that to be true with people, even the next generation era. There's always going to be that group of people that they don't want to get too cozy with technology. In other words, some people may not want to eat the synthetic food. They might prefer only to eat real food. So that's where a real kitchen would logically make sense to add it on the ship, even though they never technically showed it. But we can honestly get away with that because Voyager had a full kitchen, even though it had a replicator. So within that argument, even though you're talking Intrepid class and Galaxy class, it's still a next generation era vessel, so it would make perfect sense that if a newer ship, Voyager, had a full kitchen, Enterprise D probably would have one too. This is why sometimes I say that when you're stuck with those creative hurdles that you're not quite sure what you're going to do, sometimes it's not a bad idea to look to see what they've done with other ships, because you might be able to find what you're looking for. Prime example right here, that we're working on our kitchen. We're maybe trying to think about the rationality of adding in a kitchen as opposed to just the replicator. This is why we look at what they've done with other ships. So in that case, we find out after doing our research that Voyager did have a full kitchen. Oh, okay. At that point, it kind of makes sense, you know? This is the reason I'm talking about this stuff. This is the stuff that I think about when I'm building my ships out. I try to make a point to go over my entire process, as mundane as it can possibly be sometimes. I try to make this as entertaining as I can, but, you know, there's really not that much to it. Just think about what you're going to do. Do your research. When you start doing that and you start looking at other places, when you do hit that wall, you'd be pleasantly surprised sometimes that you can usually find a workaround. I'll give you another example, even though it's completely different from my Galaxy class. When I first started working on my Constitution class, I was getting ready to work on the crew quarters. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to have enough room here to build out all these crew quarters. It's just not going to be very realistic. And then I started looking online to see if I can find general crew quarters for Kirk's era, and I couldn't. So what I ended up doing, rather than going forward, which is something that I could have done because I'm pretty sure that they showed a brief clip of general crew quarters on a Galaxy class and Star Trek Generations, but let's say that that never happened. What I ended up doing was that I started researching aircraft carriers and submarines, things like that, naval ships, and seeing how their general crew quarters was. And I started to find out was that they had bunks and things like that. And that started to make a lot of sense to me. It's just like, okay, well, even if this ship holds 400 people, it's not going to have the capacity for every single person on board to have their own quarters. Now, a Galaxy class, that's maybe a different story. Galaxy class, I think, definitely had a room for every single crew member or family on board. They had room to spare. But Constitution class, different animal. You know, Constitution class, a lot smarter, or excuse me, not smarter, a lot smaller than a Galaxy class by far. All right, so we're looking pretty good here, and like we're not really doing anything too fancy. We're just trying to clean up the room here a little bit so that we can, you know, when you come in here, you can look to your left and you've got your cooking station, and that's pretty much it. If we wanted to, we could facade this wall off that we're just in front of right now and make it look like that's a doorway to go into like a cooler. And you could even flesh that out if you want to. I say go for it if that's something that you're thinking about doing. And I already know I don't like these stairs upside down because they're covering up those furnaces and whatnot up there. I think an easier solution here would maybe to be half slabs instead. Or you can just do the stairs too if you don't want that many, if you just want to cover it up and have it be a little bit cleaner. That doesn't look terrible. I gotta be honest, I wasn't crazy about how my kitchen and mess hall turned out. This was one of those cases where Oftentimes when you guys see me doing my tutorials, so I think it's rare that sometimes like I'll do something and like I'll be happy with it the first time. A lot of the times what will end up happening is that I'll throw something down and I'm not finished with it. I have the full intent to go back to it. And that's kind of what happened with this room, that I was trying to flesh out the idea, but it wasn't really coming to mind the way that I wanted it to. So I was like, okay, like I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to finish what I've started and then I'll come back to it at a later date. But I mean, it is what it is at this point. I don't think it looks terrible, but if I had, I wish that I still had the save file and I had more time to work on it, because the mess hall would have been one of the rooms that I would have come back to. I thought the park came out pretty good, but even the park, there was a couple of little things here and there that I would have tweaked if I was able to come back to it. But that's looking pretty good. Doesn't look terrible. It serves the purpose what we're trying to go for. You know, coming into a general room where the crew can come in, they can sit down, they can eat, and that's basically it. I think the only other thing that I would do here too is, like, you see how the backside here, I've got the concrete, and on this side I've got the carpeting, and it doesn't look terrible, but I either like one or the other. I think what I probably would have done too, another thing, was that I would just take this carpeting and bring it all the way back. This way you don't have that cut there in the middle, and it's not so much of an eyesore sticking out. But that doesn't look too bad. I'm happy with overall how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, if you can please help me out, hit that like and subscribe button, helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And new subscribers, don't forget to hit notifications on, hit that bell so you know when those new videos are dropping. And speaking of new videos, you can always catch my new Minecraft episodes dropping Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Also, if you have any questions regarding today's episode, be sure to drop a comment below or in Discord. Also, last time I've got the showcase for the Enterprise D. You guys have until December the 31st to enter in your clips. You can either post them on Discord or you can email them to me. I just want to stress, for whatever reason, if you're trying to upload your video on Discord and it's telling you the file's too big or you have to subscribe, please don't do that. I will feel terrible if anybody does. I already had one person do that, and I asked them if they can refund their money because I didn't intend for that to happen. That's why now I have the email there. So if the file is too big, email it to me. I've got the email posted in the Discord. I'd love for you guys to post your clips so that this way I can put everything together to make a full tour, and you guys have until December the 31st to make that happen. But all right, that's going to be enough for me today. I just want to thank you all again for tuning in today's episode, and I hope everybody has a happy and safe week, and I'll catch you in the next episode. And of course, what did you build today? Let me know in the comments section. Post your pictures on Discord. I would love to see them.